Powers Ultimate Families, everybody doing out there? Kwofi here. Just a quick video. I made a post a day ago speaking about that women are the most responsible for families ending and families disrupting. And a lot of people understood exactly what I meant. But, there's a couple people who even hopped in my inbox and was saying a lot of different things. For the people who, didn't understand or didn't have a personal agenda, against me, just to elaborate on what I was saying, is all I'm saying is that the women 30 years ago, 50 years ago were successful in the family because they were stronger. They didn't let their emotions interrupt their decision making. And this is why you had full families. Now, men have always been men, and I'm not saying that any woman should stay with a man who is cheating on them. And I'm not saying that any woman should stay with a man who is beating on them. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is that many of you women quit your families, quit your job, and quit your duties based off small arguments and situations, whether even if infidelity was involved or not. A lot of these situations be minuscule situations, and the main person who ends the family is the woman. We didn't see this 50 years ago, and this is all I'm saying is because our grandmothers were stronger emotionally as far as taking care of the family. They knew that they had a duty to uphold that was further than their emotions, right? They made a decision and had children with a certain man, and whatever decision or whatever scenario that came from that decision that they made, they stuck in there, they stood in there. Nowadays, women do not last 6 months with a man, whether they have a baby involved or not. As soon as infidelity come up, or the man loses his job and he falls short for a year or even 2 years or even longer than that, as far as finances or anything else, the women is quick to quit on the family, and then they try to hold the man accountable. Then they try to throw the man on child support, talking about that they can't pay their rent when they had a partner in the home. You could say that older women were idiots, or older women were ignorant for staying with men who either beat on them or cheated on them, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you have to say to make yourself feel comfortable for leaving your family, go ahead and say it. But in the end, those women from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s were different type of women emotionally and mentally when it came to making decisions that was critical as far as financially and keeping the family oriented. See, the woman is the backbone of the family. The man is the protector, the man is the provider, the man may even be the creative one and have to come up with the ideas. But the woman, if the woman quits, it's over. It's over. If the woman does not have faith, if the woman is discouraged in the situation, then the children and the man and the rest of the family will be discouraged. And this is all I'm saying. I'm not saying these things to bash women. I'm saying these things to wake up a certain level of women, not all women, because I'm not speaking to all women. Not all women is my type of woman. Not all women is going to vibrate towards this, or is going to be strong enough to put their emotions to the side for someone else. But the ones who actually care about their families to come, we have to start being more intelligent if we're going to say that we care about keeping our families intact. And we can't complain about our struggles if you left the man. If you had a home and he was taking care of 50%, 75%, 100%, and now you have to take care of it, now you want to throw him on child support. And I think it's very, very unfair for men who actually put in the work, for men who is actually fathers, for men who actually want to be husbands. I think it's very, very unfair because it's just like a stereotype. It's just like a loose standard that we have to silently follow under. And I'm a KhAn, so I'm not going to follow under none of that weak ass shit. None of that weak ass shit. I only want top-notch individuals around me, correct? I only want real women around me. I want women who remind me of my grandmother. And this is how we're going to keep families intact. Seeking out individuals who have these traits. And that's all I was saying. I'm not bashing any of the women, because our women need more love around these times. Our women need more protection and covering and leadership around this time. But what I was saying is that we definitely cannot shun out the man like it is majority his fault for these families not being intact. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not the man that leaves, it's not the man that breaks the family. And like I say, this is if infidelity comes in place, but we have more things that's intact when infidelity comes in place. Like it's not always his fault, like y'all like to say. A lot of the times, and even a lot of y'all will admit that y'all be losing y'all shit. Whether it's around a pregnancy, whether it's menopause, or just going through that time of the month, or anything like that, y'all will admit to it that sometimes y'all be tripping. And it can cause a downward spiral. I'm not saying that, I'm not glorifying any man engaging in infidelity with a woman. I believe that we all should be honest and put things on the table and talk about polygamy. But, I'm just saying that a lot of these situations don't be enough to end your family, and now you struggling, living in public housing, going downtown, talking to them white people downtown, talking about how your children's father don't do anything for you. Not the children, for you. He left you. You kicked him out. You left him. And now you have to step it up. You deserved a certain man who treated you a certain way. You tried to control him or do whatever whatever your personal situation is. And now you have to step it up. Now you're alone. Now you got to step it up. Don't complain about it. Just be a boss about it. Because you was a boss when you left him, right? You were so angry and so determined. And you knew what you deserved. Well, a lot of us understands that, this is a two-way road here, right? This is an ongoing process, and we're all learning and we're all growing. But you didn't want to allow someone to make mistakes because you're perfect, or you don't want someone to, step out of line. I'm sure you're gonna want forgiveness. If you make a mistake, I'm sure you're gonna want forgiveness. But you're perfect, so maybe it will never happen. But more realistically, we have to really take these things into consideration, because other than drugs, other than media, other than everything else that we're dealing with, this is a problem that we're dealing with here. Women caving on us. Black women have went through a lot, and I understand that. I feel that. I'm a Virgo. I have abundance of feminine energy. I understand it and I feel it. But we can't be emotional decision-making beings, especially when it comes to our families. Because when 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you're going to be blaming someone else when you could have made a strategic or logical decision other than an emotional and personal decision. And that's all I'm saying. It's different levels to individuals, and I understand that some people is not strong enough to heap or to capitalize or this elaboration. But a lot of individuals will. And I'm not, and I'm not for everybody. Well, everybody is talking about my videos and my teachings is not for weak people. It's not for average and mediocre suckers. We are optimal, advanced beings. We're levitating beings. We're trying to figure out how we can be the highest light of ourselves. And it's not by using these temporary emotions. So we just have to rise above families. We have to use our intelligence. We have to stay healthy, whether it's spiritually, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally. And we have to learn how to be optimal. Power is awesome, families.